Every gardener has that one old trick passed down through the years that works so well it almost feels like cheating. For me, that's Grandma's Miracle Tonic, a powerful liquid fertilizer brewed entirely from weeds. It's fast, free, and unbelievably effective. Within a week, this simple fermentation process transforms what most people see as garden waste into a nutrient-dense elixir that fuels explosive plant growth. And unlike store-bought fertilizers, it's alive with microbial life and completely natural. Why weeds are your garden's hidden nutrient goldmine? Weeds are not just pests, they're actually some of nature's best nutrient miners. Their deep tap roots draw up minerals and trace elements from subsoil layers that most vegetables never reach. Plants like dandelion, nettle, comfrey, and chickweed accumulate nitrogen, potassium, calcium, and magnesium in their tissues. When you ferment them, those nutrients become bioavailable, meaning your plants can absorb them almost instantly. Think of it this way: weeds spend their life hoarding nutrients that your soil lacks. By turning them into liquid fertilizer, you're reclaiming those nutrients and cycling them right back into your crops. It's a self-sustaining loop that mirrors how ecosystems work in the wild. Nothing is wasted, everything feeds back. How to make Grandma's Miracle Tonic step by step. Start by collecting a bucketful of fresh weeds, roughly 1 kilogram. The more variety, the better. Avoid anything that has gone to seed, unless you want a few surprises in your garden later. Nettles, comfrey, purslane, and lamb's quarters are ideal choices. Chop them up finely with pruning shears or a knife to expose more surface area for fermentation. Place the chopped weeds into a large container. A plastic pail, ceramic crock, or any non-metal bucket will do. Now add about 5 liters of unchlorinated water. Rainwater is perfect if you have it. To kickstart fermentation, add a cup of molasses, brown sugar, or even a handful of old compost. This introduces beneficial microbes and provides the carbohydrates they need to multiply. Stir the mixture thoroughly and press the weeds down so they're submerged beneath the liquid. Cover the bucket loosely with a cloth or lid to keep out insects while allowing gases to escape. Place it in a shaded area, out of direct sunlight, and let nature do its work. For the next 7 days, stir it once daily to aerate the brew and keep the microbial process active. You'll notice a distinct, earthy, sometimes slightly funky smell. That's fermentation in action. If you see bubbles, froth, or a white layer forming on the surface, congratulations, you've got a living brew. By the end of the week, your tonic should be dark green to brown and rich smelling, not putrid. Strain out the solids using a fine mesh or cloth and save the liquid. That's your finished fertilizer. Don't throw the remaining plant matter away. It's excellent compost material or can be used as mulch under fruit trees. So, how do you use your fermented weed fertilizer for maximum effect? Well, this tonic is extremely concentrated, so it needs to be diluted before applying. Mix 1 part of the fermented liquid with 10 parts water for general feeding. That's about 1 cup per liter. For seedlings or sensitive plants, go a bit lighter. 1 part tonic to 20 parts water. You can use it as a soil drench by pouring it directly around the base of your plants once a week. The nutrients and beneficial microbes quickly penetrate the root zone, stimulating growth and strengthening the soil food web. For foliar feeding, strain the liquid again through a finer cloth and spray it on the leaves in the early morning or late evening to prevent burn. The minerals and microbial compounds enhance photosynthesis and help ward off common leaf diseases. If you want to, supercharge the tonic for fruiting crops like tomatoes or peppers, just add a tablespoon of wood ash or a teaspoon of sea salt per liter of diluted mix. This increases potassium and trace minerals, promoting stronger flowering and fruit development. For leafy greens, skip the ash and add a small splash of fish amino acid or fermented plant juice to boost nitrogen levels. The science behind why this method works so fast. Traditional compost takes months to break down because it relies on slow aerobic decomposition. Fermentation, on the other hand, is microbial acceleration. Lactic acid bacteria, yeasts, and enzymes in the tonic predigest the plant materials, breaking complex organic matter into simple, plant-ready nutrients. The resulting liquid contains amino acids, organic acids, and minerals in forms your plants can absorb immediately. More importantly, the living microbes in the solution colonize your soil and plant roots, outcompeting harmful pathogens and improving nutrient cycling. This is why plants fed with fermented tonics grow not only faster, but also more resilient. The microbial diversity enhances root exudation, which in turn feeds more beneficial soil organisms, a feedback loop of fertility. Gardeners who've used this tonic often notice visible changes within just a few days. Leaf color deepens, growth accelerates, and honestly, fruit set becomes more consistent. Tomatoes develop firmer skins and richer flavor, while leafy greens grow lush and tender. It's a transformation that expensive bottled fertilizers just can't match because, well, they lack the biological activity of a living brew. The beauty of Grandma's Miracle Tonic is that it gets better over time. Each batch carries over beneficial microbes that adapt to your soil's unique conditions. To sustain this microbial culture, just keep a cup of your finished tonic aside and use it as a starter for your next batch, just like you would with sourdough or kombucha. Over a few generations, the brew becomes increasingly potent and well-tuned to your garden ecosystem. You can also experiment with seasonal variations. In spring, focus on nitrogen-rich weeds and soft growth. In summer, add comfrey, which provides potassium for flowering and fruiting. In autumn, toss in fallen leaves for a mineral boost. Even aquatic weeds like water hyacinth or duckweed make excellent ingredients. They're high in trace nutrients. After a few months of consistent use, you'll start noticing the real difference: richer soil structure, deeper root systems, and fewer pest issues. Healthy soil means balanced plants that attract fewer diseases and produce higher yields naturally. The wisdom behind Grandma's method: when Grandma taught me this tonic, she wasn't thinking about microbial populations or nutrient solubility. She just knew that every part of the garden had value, even the weeds. Her 7-day brew was a way of respecting the cycle of life, turning what was unwanted into something deeply beneficial. Today, science backs up what she intuitively practiced. Fermentation unlocks nutrients, strengthens plants, and regenerates soil health. It's simple, circular, and endlessly renewable. That's the real miracle. So before you toss those weeds into the compost pile, grab a bucket and start your own batch of Grandma's Miracle Tonic. Your plants will respond faster, your soil will come alive, and your garden will thrive like never before. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Gentle Herb Living and share it with your fellow gardeners. Let's keep old wisdom alive and the soil teeming with life.